Okay guys, here is your recovery flow after going outside and shoveling your snow. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure you have some props, maybe some blocks, and also a strap. We might need that in a little bit too. So once you have that all set, you're on your mat and you've taken off all of your wet clothes from all the snow, go ahead and come down onto your mat and then begin doing a little cow and cat. So here's a little side profile, spreading your fingers wide. Wrists below the shoulders, rotate the eyes, the elbows forward, knees below the hips. The knees could be a little bit back behind those hips. And then bend the elbows slightly, inhale, tailbone will lift, belly drops, and then look out in front of you, push the ground away, get that spine into extension, right? It's gonna feel pretty good for that back, especially, from bending over a little bit from doing that shoveling. And then as you exhale, tuck under the pubic bone, arch the spine, chin to chest, feel that good stretch all along that spinal column. And just repeat here, the little cow and cat. Do it 3 more times. And after that last cat, if you want to hold for an extra breath, because that could feel good for your back, feel free to do it. But then you're going to come back into table, and then we're going to bring our right foot forward, okay, to work into a nice low lunge. So the right foot's coming forward. And this is where if you need your blocks, have your blocks right there to help you out. And have your strap close by too, as then we're going to lift the torso up. And everybody look back and make sure that left pinky toe lines up with the outside of that left hip flexor. Hands could be on your blocks, or those hands could be on your right thigh. And I want you to work on dropping that tailbone, tuck under the pubic bone, lift up out of your pelvis, lift the sternum, work the shoulder blades together, and do a gentle back bend. Again, when we're shoveling snow, right, if we're doing it properly, we're long in our spine, working our core, but we're still feeling, some action in the quadriceps and the pelvis and the back muscles while you're shoveling. So we want to get that spine to work up and do a little bit of extension. And then we're stretching out through the quad and the hip. Okay? Good. And then we're going to go into a little mini open-hearted warrior. So if you need your strap, grab your strap, okay? And put it right, between the hands there, and separate your hands maybe about, 2 fists apart. Work shoulder blades together, and then actively take those knuckles down towards the ground. I'll do a side profile so you can see from here. We're in this low lunge, you're still lifting up out of your pelvis. And the reason why, if you need a strap, is if your elbows will not straighten, right? You want to straighten those elbows and work the shoulder blades together, because that's going to help get those triceps to work out. If you don't need a strap, you can simply interlace those fingers and extend those arms. Lift up out of your pelvis. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to release here. And your hands can come on the earth, or if you have those blocks, hands on your blocks. Lift up through the sternum for a moment, and then exhale, come right and back into a half split. So we'll straighten out that right leg as much as we can. Keep your left knee right below that left hip flexor. Those hands could be on your props. Shoulder blades down your back. Keep that right foot flexed to help stretch out that calf and those hamstrings. And then maybe bring your torso a little closer towards that right leg. Feel your right hip and glute pull back a little bit to stretch out into the IT, that glute muscle. Make sure you're not falling over to the left side of your knee. Keep yourself square. Okay? Good job. Take a deep, deep breath in. And then when we exhale, lift the torso up. You're going to drop that left hand on the earth or on your block. Right hand can come on the inside of that right foot for a moment. And then inhale and exhale, we're going to twist right. Okay, a little mini reverse triangle here. You can have that right arm lifted and work those shoulder blades together. So you open your pecs, right? And stabilize those back muscles. Or you could go with a half bound arm that's better for your shoulder. Or that right hand could come to your lower back. Really nice here for those lats and obliques. Chew on the back too from shoveling that snow and twisting in that spinal column. Good. Inhale as we exhale. We're all going to come back home to center. You're going to bend that right knee. We're going to work into a pigeon pose just from here, okay? So all you're going to do, and I'll face you guys now. I don't fall over with that block. All we're going to do here is we're just going to slide that right leg over here. Right foot's heading over to the left side of the mat. You're going to push the earth away, hands on your blocks or on the ground, and lift up. Shoulder blades work together. Again, a little back bend. Get that back into extension again from sort of hunkering over from shoveling. Good, and then release down for a moment. We'll stretch out that right hip, the glutes. You can get into the muscles of your back. Don't forget to breathe. Okay. And then let's bring the hands under the shoulders or on your blocks. Lift the torso up. We're going to go back to down dog and then we'll end up changing sides. But first here, either work yourself to table and tuck those toes under and head back to down dog, or tuck under your left toes, push the ground away, lift up that left leg and lift the right leg up. You're in a three-legged dog. Maybe you shake off that right leg for a moment and then bring your right foot down to the ground. Feet are square. And then you can pedal your feet some here. Even shifting your hips from side to side, doing a little twisted dog. If that feels good, to help stretch out your back muscles more, those lats and obliques and those hips. And then we're going to change sides, everybody, so you can come down to table and bring your left foot forward to come to that runner stretch. Or for that down dog, lift that left leg up and just step that left foot forward and through. And we're coming down onto that right knee. You'll lift the torso up. Low lunge here, guys. Let's make sure that that right pinky toe lines up with the outside of that right hip flexor. Shoulder blades down the back end towards each other. Push the ground away. You know, whether that's the hands on your thigh and you're lifting up out of your pelvis or your hands are on your blocks. Tuck under your pubic bone. Reach those right toes for the back wall. Feel that nice lengthening through the whole quadricep up into the groin and the hip. Work your shoulder blades together to keep your pecs open. And then we're going in that mini open-hearted warrior. So if you need your strap, grab your strap, right? Otherwise, hands behind the back, and you interlace the fingers. Re-stack the thumb and fingers when it's opposite what we did on that last side. If you're doing just the fingers interlaced, and then straighten those arms, work the shoulder blades together, lift your heart. Work the shoulder blades down your back. Remember, if you cannot straighten your elbows, use that strap. Good, deep breath in. And then exhale, hands release onto your blocks of the earth. Lift your heart and go right into your half split. Again, we're trying to keep that right hip right above that right knee. Just really tighten your hamstring, bend that left knee. But try to flex that left foot and feel your left hip pull back slightly. Don't collapse in your back, okay? Even if you're going to bring your torso closer towards your left leg, don't hump in the back there, okay? Because that's adding more compression in your back. And we want to keep that spine long so you can really benefit of stretching those muscles in the back, but also in the hamstring here. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling out. Lift the torso up. Okay, you're going to drop weight on your right hand. Put your left hand on the inside of that left foot. Exhale out. And then inhale. Exhale, we twist left. Roll that left shoulder blade down the back, or shoulder blades together. Reach those left fingers back, or remember, if you need to bring that left hand on your hip or half bound arm, do that instead. Try to keep your left foot flexed and rotate that right eye, the elbow forward to stabilize your right shoulder. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, we all come back home to center. We're gonna bend our left knee and we're gonna work in that pigeon pose here. So you can just slide the left foot over, bring the left knee down, lengthen that right leg a little further back, push the ground away, lift your torso up in your sternum. Make sure your hips are square, that you're not leaning too far over to the left. And again, that right pinky toe lines up with the outside of your right hip flexor. Shoulder blades work together. Deep breath in. And now everybody melt. Come on down. Release here. Notice how good that feels for that left hip, left glute. Don't forget, if you need to modify by maybe putting a block underneath your head, if the head doesn't come all the way down, that's totally cool. But let your shoulders round more versus shoulders going up towards your ears, okay? Good. Deep breath in. Full exhalation out. Hands under the shoulders. Lift your torso up. And either come into table and then tuck the toes under, head back to down dog to stretch out a little bit there. Or tuck under those right toes. Push the earth away. Left leg up, three-legged dog. And you can shake off that left leg. And then come back into that downward facing dog. We're almost going to table in just a sec. And then you can pedal the feet. Okay, and then we come down to table. And we'll just stretch out these wrists and these forearms from the work that we're doing shoveling. So if it's possible, you're going to take the palms of the hands and turn the fingers back towards your knees. And if you can get the whole palm of the hand and the pads of the fingers to touch the ground, great. If that hurts you too much, lift the palms and wrists up. If that's still too much for you, I want you to kneel and do one hand at a time here, okay? I'm going to do the side profile for you because we want to make sure while we're doing the stretching out of the wrists and the forearms that we're not collapsing in our back and our shoulders are not going up towards our ears, right? You're taking the shoulder blades down your back. You're staying strong in the core there so that you feel the belly reach up towards the back of the body. You could stay here. If you want more stretching, drop your sits bones back, still stay straight in your spine and shoulder blades down your back, and then try and get a little bit more stretch there through the wrist and forearms. And release. And shake it off. Roll the shoulders. Good. And then, if you can, make your way down onto your back. Hug the knees in. Maybe you do some circles in that lower back here. You can reverse them. And then letting the feet touch the ground. Let the knees point towards the ceiling. Arms come to a T position here or a 45-degree angle. Separate the legs a little bit here so they're about as wide as a mat, a little bit wider. And then let your knees drop over to the right. Keep both arms down. A nice gentle twist. If you want a little bit extra here, take that right foot up onto that left thigh and gently press the thigh down. That might help stretch out a little bit more into your IT and that hip. Good, and then we'll inhale, exhale, bring it back home to center, and we'll head to the other side. So let the legs lazily fall over to the left. And if you wanted to put that left foot up onto your right thigh to try and stretch out that IT and hip a little bit more, go ahead. But you don't have to, right? Your legs should be lazy, and if you need to bend your knees more or straighten your legs more, do that. Great, and then slowly inhale and exhale, come back home to center, and then you can extend those legs out. Arms to about that 45-degree angle, shift a little bit on your body, close your eyes. You come into a little bit of relaxation here. Again, take in this corpse pose for just a minute or two, or longer if that's fine, so your body can fully recover from shoveling that wet and heavy snow. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Namaste.